All right, now it seems like it's working fine. My goodness. All right, I think we are. Just trying to get everything kind of all situated here, guys. Give me a minute. Come on. Why is that powering up? Okay, I get it. I get it. These things I'm telling you. All right, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. Sorry, we're just trying to get situated. We are currently in the state of Georgia. We are in far southeast Georgia. We will inevitably be likely crossing back into Florida here in the short term. Have been kind of bouncing back and forth on the exact target and things that I want to do. But we are kind of watching this cell that's going to be passing north of Jacksonville. It's kind of a discreet little cell. So this is going to be kind of a rough chase today. The terrain is far from ideal. We're definitely playing with a lot of nonsense up here. But we're gonna give it a shot. This is what I love to do. I love to chase, and it's on a nice day I can go out, and here we are. So we are heading north a bit here. Cell phone service is real bad. Thankfully, Starlink is coming in clutch. If somebody can shoot a message to chat if you're on YouTube, I want to make sure my chat thingy is working. I think it is, but I have not seen anything pop in yet. That would be awesome. But again, we are looking at this cell that's kind of approaching. It's north of Jacksonville. It's a discrete cell heading up towards like Hillard. It's really got kind of an interesting look to it. That's where we're headed right now. That's our plan. I guess my location thing is working. Stand by. I have to get that up and running. I forgot to restart my computer and everything's broken. Okay, so there's my location. That should be functioning as intended now. Part of the live stream today, we have upgraded the setup a little bit today. We have a new camera. This is my roof camera. It did look like much change there between the standard dash camera and what is now the roof camera. However, we have the ability to rotate this sucker. And so as we're traveling down a highway, we have a much easier way of looking around the car as the storm is in progress. So I've been working on this quite for a couple weeks. I think I finally have it in a functioning capacity. I'm really excited to utilize it today. But again, the dash camera will be the primary just because the quality of the dash camera is a DSLR. It's going to be so much better. Excuse me. We're looking pretty much north northeast here, so we're pretty much gonna be looking right at the storm. See, the dark sky is off to the north here. Pretty good amount of lightning with this storm now as well. It's really starting to get its act together. I wouldn't be surprised if they start throwing some polygons on this thing here pretty soon. Probably a severe polygon. We'll keep an eye on it. I did just tweet out the stream to National Weather Service Jacksonville, so hopefully they can tune on in and hopefully it can assist in their warning process. We're going to be battling some internet issues along the way. Starlink is great. However, of course, there are trees, and that could be a problem. So we are dual banding with my Verizon service as well. However, that could also be pretty sketchy out here. So we're going to do the best that we can to get service and get eyes on the storm for you guys. We're going to turn right here as we continue our trek towards Hillard, Florida. Right now, the storm of interest is just kind of to the left of the car a little bit, kind of over there. Interesting little discrete storm on ahead of everything. So we're going to do our best to get in play. The trees are going to make this an absolute treat. Certainly some dark skies up there. Marby only saying only tornado Lakeland, Georgia. Yeah, it's not the highest tornado threat today. It's not, a huge tornado threat today. But it's enough to kind of be interesting. I think we just crossed back into Florida. I didn't even realize. So we are back in Florida. Hope you enjoyed your stay in Georgia. In about a mile, we're going to be taking a north road, and that'll basically give you a straight shot view into the storm that also should behave with the road network. The road should be able to kind of give you a good shot, good view. Yeah, I knew this terrain here was kind of rough. It was going to be kind of rough. There's one that what you're looking at in the foreground there is kind of there's like a pseudo base there. That's like a little shower that's between me and the main storm. Back there in the distance, that is like the main storm back there. So we are not like terribly far from it, but we still got a little bit of a distance to go here. We are continuing to watch a few cells that are kind of popping up to our southwest as well. There's a bit of a lowering. You can kind of see there's some funny business right there. Kind of a dark something going on up there. Trees, of course, are making it a little difficult, as one would expect, but there's something kind of lurking back there. I mean, if it's based on radar alone, this thing should have some decent structure to it, you would think. We're lost in the trees again. Watching that line out west. I think in the short term, this remains the best play, the best plan. Yeah, it's like I said, with all the trees, and we still got some distance away too. It's a little difficult to know exactly what it looks like and what it's doing on the ground. Very difficult to know. Again, there's something lurking back there, but you gotta get a lot closer, I think, to actually see anything. This terrain is not ideal. Yeah, I mean, it's got a good little look to it, you know? It's not terrible. Core is pretty much right over Hillard right now. I mean, it's difficult to see. I mean, we're kind of behind the storm still, so the best view would be kind of in front of it. I gotta look at my options here. There are not great roads in this area. Much as I'd like to get east, I think north and east is probably the play. They just haven't put a new special weather statement on it. Probably northeast at 35. Interesting little storm. Gotta say, it's all by itself. You can kind of see in there. There's still some funny business going on. There's clearly some structure to it. Um, I'm just still kind of behind it. Now, what's interesting is it looks like it's about to go under a cell merger. There's a small cell that's just off to the south of it that looks like it might try and kind of get entrained in it. And cell mergers are particularly interesting in the weather world, as weird tornado-y things can happen under the right circumstances. Obviously, you need the right circumstances. Not every case will do it, but anytime there's a cell merger process, I do get a little intrigued. And look at the updraft on that. It's a good-looking storm, eh? Kind of get a good view of the whole tower here. I like the way it looks on radar. I like the way it looks visually. We're just still a little too far away from the area of interest to really get a good handle on it. We're still kind of coming in from behind it. But that's a very interesting look, and you can kind of see down low, there's certainly some funny business going on still. It's still difficult to know exactly what's going on. A lot of trees in the way. Again, I really like the way this looks right now. Let's see if we can go through this little cell merger and what may happen to it in that process. A little 60 DBZ core now on radar, just east of Hillard. A few lightning strikes with it. About to get a good view here of the base. That's angry. Definitely angry. Looks like we got some rising scud there on the right side. Some inflow into it. Dark mass in there. It's a little difficult to see again exactly what's all happening in there, but it's interesting. It looks low, but again, we're still kind of coming from behind it, so the contrast isn't great. Hard to tell. But it's got a good tower going. We'll see. It looks like it's kind of pulsing down a little bit now. Looks like it is about to undergo a cell merger, though, so we'll see if those little cells down south get sucked into it or not. Maybe trying to pulse back up again. Still watching that line out to the west and watching a few little storms trying to pop up kind of south of me and southwest. There's a little bit more activity starting to pop up here on the radar view as we continue to just chase in the absolute best terrain imaginable. We are basically entering a Hillard now. So we're just kind of southwest of that core, heavy precipitation core. Storm is still a bit of a mess. It's kind of losing its look a little bit. Hope the audio sounds better. Audio has been something I've been playing with on the stream here for like 2 years, and I finally just flipped the audio again to a different setup. And the fact that no one's saying anything about audio, it's usually a good sign. So I hope the audio finally isn't trash. What turn it off for? Dude, these GoPro Black 11s are just actually terrible. I'm just being honest. Nice shot there. Still difficult to see really what's going on, but you can kind of see the full storm there. The GoPro 11, I swear it just overheats constantly. Like, it's just, what is the point of having a GoPro if it's just gonna like overheat all the time? I think I need to get like thanks for all the audio reports by the way, Anthony, and I don't really know how to pronounce your name because it has an exclamation point in it. Sorry. Um GoPro 11 Black, these things just overheat on me all the time. And it's not even in like direct sunlight or anything. Like it's just sitting on my dash. Clearly it's not sunny outside. If anybody has a fix how to get these things to not overheat, that would be amazing. Problem two is I don't think you can even power them direct like USB. Maybe. Well, it's back on, so let's see what happens there. It's the little cell that could or couldn't. I'm not sure yet. It constantly is like kind of pulsing, which is not what you like to see unless it finally kind of proves itself. I think I'm gonna end up at the ocean and then following this thing all the way to the ocean. Duck Guy. Thanks for tuning in and appreciate your comment. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much. You can still kind of see that area of interest is still lingering kind of over. It's kind of front right now. Here's kind of the full view of the storm here with all the tower and everything. Area of interest is kind of like till 1 o'clock. It's just to the right of the road. They're definitely catching up to the storm. Going through this town doesn't help, but Baba Booey, welcome to the party. So we're still testing out the dome camera on the roof. Um, we're still really experimenting with it and doing the best that we can to try and keep it going. Part of the problems are, of course, high humidity. We're in like these rainy situations. Um, you're gonna get some moisture inside, some fogging inside. I'm doing a lot that I can to try and mitigate it as much as possible. I have some like anti-fogging stuff on the glass. I have um, a fan to try and mix the air a little bit. I think the only thing I can really do more is to add like a heater to it. If I can add like a heater to kind of produce heat inside, that's probably about all I can do to kind of prevent the fogging issues from persisting. It's not perfect, but it's good enough, is the way I kind of look at it. We're just going straight east right now, pretty much. The storm is just to the left of the road. You can still see a pretty good little tower to it. There's also Rain-X at the exterior of the dome that we're using. But again, that's can only do so much, especially when you're in mist. Rain-X is great in like rain, but in like mist, it's not as great, not as ideal. Um, the smaller droplets have a much harder time kind of like running and streaking. So again, that area of interest is just to the left of the road here. We're pretty much going to parallel this storm all the way to the coast on this highway. We should have a pretty good view here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. There's some things hanging down. It's a bit messy. It got a very interesting look earlier, but now it looks a little bit more messy here. That would be your area of interest there, buried in the rain. Still have a special weather statement on this storm. It's kind of been percolating up and down and up and down. It's kind of not been steady. Yeah, I see that tornado warning up northwest. That's all, it's a linear kind of mess up there. I was trying to kind of hit some of these more discrete storms out ahead of it, but we're kind of losing that battle. I thought the storm was going to do it. That tornado signature up in Georgia is pretty interesting, though. We might have to just jump north, eh? I believe I can get on 95 if I need to. Look at that line coming in from the west. Location at all times is on the bottom of the stream. That tornado signature is pretty interesting over there in Georgia, ain't you? All right, well, shoot. Let me think we might call it quits on this storm, as we're kind of running out of real estate. I don't know, we'll see. Stick with it for a little bit longer, and then I guess we can go northwest. I'm like an hour from Nahunta, I think is how to pronounce that. And I can see the storm does not look like much right now. Look interesting for a little bit, and then kind of went to crap. That's okay. Also looking at this other discrete cell, gosh, I don't know what the play here is. That tornado signature on that northern cell in Georgia is pretty wild, I gotta say. I'm watching this other cell kind of back behind me, just north of Lake City, Florida. It's discrete by itself. Honestly, that whole line is going to get kind of interesting with time. My goal this afternoon was to kind of play around with these cells out ahead of the main show before, going to the line, because, once you get behind that line, you're kind of done. And the road network and the train isn't ideal for that. So I was kind of looking at these initial cells kind of popping up ahead of everything. They're all in a pretty good environment, but I wouldn't be surprised if I know there was some overnight rain, stratiform rain. I don't know how far south that got yesterday. I don't think like this area was impacted by it. And it's a beefy tornado signature, certainly up in Georgia. Still, blah, 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 blah. We can pop, we get north to, no, I think it's Nahunta is how to pronounce that. Nahunta, Georgia. I think that's the most interesting storm at the moment. And the line kind of builds, back southwest. And as I'm saying this, the storm to my left actually doesn't look terrible again. Visually, it's not awful. We're just running out of real estate. Hi, Bill. Hope you're having a good afternoon. All right, I'm going to give this storm a little bit more of a chance. I'm going to keep going east a little bit more. We're going to go over to I-95. We're going to give it until I get to I-95, which is like 5 miles to do something. And if it doesn't do anything, we're going to blast north on 95. And we're going to head deeper into Georgia as we continue to combat some pretty brutal terrain. Excuse me. Pretty brutal terrain. The other thing with going to I-95 is when we go north, actually, we won't be on 95 right away. We'll be taking US 17 north first. But that should give us a better view, bit more of an open sky, ideally. Yeah, I don't know. The storm's kind of interesting again. It's doing all right. I think we have an MD that's just been issued somewhat recently. I don't know when this was issued, but I'm just seeing it now. Druid, I believe, starts banking left here, so we should have another view of the storm structure. I mean, not terrible. I mean, let's try it. Fortunately, it doesn't stay north, and the view is like just continuing in the trees. We got 3 miles until we're going like straight north. Gosh, that tornado signature in Georgia is pretty good. Tisk tisk. I thought the strategy was going to pay off here early with this little discreet storm, but maybe not. Yeah, and you're not missing much right now. I mean, it's all trees to the left of me, so you really can't see the storm at all. Definitely some pretty good inflow, though. I'm kind of getting knocked around a little bit now by the wind. Pretty decent inflow into the storm. Air temperature, at least on my car, which you know how reliable those car thermometers are. It says 81. That's a pretty warm inflow. I mean, you can see. I mean, that's good luck trying to make out what's going on there. Looks like we're about to cross I-95, so we should have a pretty decent view momentarily with the clearing of I-95. Uh, 1 mile will be heading north back into the storm. About a mile, make a left turn here. We'll be heading towards this little discrete storm out in front. And then ultimately we'll be heading up towards the lines. I think that's going to inevitably be the play here. I mean, it's kind of junky. Clearly, we're missing something down here. I think based on temperatures and dew point and all that, I think instability recovered pretty good here. I'm not so sure about what other parameters look like. I've not really had a chance to look at much here in a minute. That track's pretty rough. All right, so this is a pretty busy highway. It's opening there though. That's good. Like the what's left of the storm is missing crossing I-95 right now. It's just north of me. It ain't much anymore. It's whatever this was has really kind of petered out. So we're gonna continue. We're gonna head north. We're gonna jump on I-95 here in about a mile. We'll head north. We'll see what this line can do. That tornado signature there in Georgia is still mighty interesting. Yeah, good couplet still on velocity. It's kind of got a good hook to it on reflectivity as well. So thought that might have been it. Thought we were gonna have something there. It's all right. Again, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you're all having a great afternoon. If you're new to this, Nick Stewart, I'm a meteorologist. I do a lot of storm chasing and stuff, and I've kind of been trying to do a little bit more on the streaming side of things. I used to be in the TV world. I moved on from TV and then now into the operational meteorology role. I'm all things big weather and space nerd. If you're finding this entertaining thus far, feel free to give me a follow. Feel free to subscribe if you're on YouTube. Like the video. Helps me out, gets the word out. If you don't want to do any of that, that's totally fine. If you're a one-time fan, hey, I respect it. Here's that cell. Whatever's left of it. Yeah, that'll give you much of a shoulder here to merge. Whatever structure this is, I mean, I guess it's not nothing, but not the most exciting structure here. Back in Florida. Well, does that thank you for visiting Florida? Yeah, I don't know what structure this is, but here you go. It's kind of messy. We are back in Georgia. Kind of been bouncing back and forth between these two states here for a little while. Whoop. So again, this is that kind of discrete shower slash storm thing in far southeast Georgia. We are gonna head back north now. We're gonna get kind of a little bit more intimate with this line coming in from the west, and we'll see what it's got for us to play with. Trend warning up north certainly kind of started to fall apart, so that's kind of going away a little bit. That's kind of what I meant, by the way, about the Rain X being like fine, but like with like the light mist, the Rain X kind of isn't as ideal. It's much harder for like the small, tiny raindrops, but once you start getting those smaller raindrops to collect together, then it kind of starts running better. It's just kind of interesting. A lot of traffic merging up here. I think we're all just slowing down because of the rain too. If you're watching over on X, Twitter, whatever the heck it's called these days, if you do prefer YouTube, we are also live on YouTube if you're into that sort of thing. I did tweet that or post that uh, on my profile here. So if you prefer YouTube, that is an option. If you want to stay on X, hey, more power to you. Whatever you prefer, the options are there. Um, I am not on Facebook at the moment. Typically, I only do Facebook when I'm really in the thick of it. Um, that is my Facebook page, Meteorologist Nick Stewart. We are just crawling here in the rain. Usually, people kind of drive like crazy in I-95. It's kind of like a terrifying highway. Um, but everyone seems to be kind of just being very safe. Which, hey, do what you got to do. I'm all for being safe driving. But usually, like we're going, let's see, I'm going 58 right now. Speed limit is 70. So we're all, even in the left lane, we're kind of going below the speed limit, which is fine. Which is totally fine. And it's a little south here in southeast Georgia. It just doesn't want to give up. So the plan here is to maybe, since that northern thing is kind of trash, I might just try and find a little spot to kind of pull over and kind of look at some data here. Um, that trend of warning is like a stratiform rain now. That interesting area right by the radar site, KVAX, KVAX. That's kind of interesting too. At least a good storm that should probably keep going. That could kind of do some weirder things with time as well. I also think I need to figure out my dash cam. It seems to be, it's kind of sluggish. The frame rate seems to like kind of be a little meh. I'm wondering if I need to put it into a different USB port, like a higher speed USB port, because it's like, I mean, here's the dash cam right now. It's kind of, well, okay, it actually looks pretty good. In preview, it was kind of dying on me, but that actually looks better in program. We're gonna just kind of continue north a little bit of 95. I'm gonna find a good exit and kind of just assess the situation here, kind of see what's kind of going on. If you guys do have any input, what you guys are seeing, feel free to chime in and chat on YouTube. I can see, I don't know if I can actually see like comments or things from X. I don't know if the restream thing works at all. with that. Kind of way back west southwest, that area. That's kind of where we're going to be looking for the next one, the next storm. Right now, nothing is like super imminent, but that's what we're going to be watching from that way. Got an exit here in about 3 miles. I think I might pop off it real quick and kind of just assess the situation around here. This stupid little shower thing in southeast Georgia, man. It's looking really very hooky again, right as it's about to hit the water. I don't even know if I would be able to keep up with that thing, given the road network. I guess I probably could have if I really wanted to. It would have been kind of hard. I don't know. Whatever. 2 miles to my exit. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get down there. There's like no. I wish if there was like a coastal road. The garbage road network. I mean, it's heading into basically swamp. I mean, it's intercoastal waters and ugh. So I don't even think there's really any way to get to that storm. We are all stopping here on the interstate. That's always a good sign. Yeah, Anthony, I was kind of just looking at that too. The problem is it's such a terrible spot. I mean, it's just that's a brutal area. I'm not even sure there's like a road in that area where it's at. I wouldn't be surprised if it produces like a water spout though once it hits the Atlantic. If it does, I'll take a quarter of a point of victory because picking the right storm at least. We're gonna get off here and assess the situation. What a cute little storm that thing is. Southeast Georgia. Just adorable. Well, if something's coming from the west, man, this is a good spot. It's about as good as it gets right here. I just park actually. All right, we're gonna just chill here, get kind of some high ground on this bridge. The little storm that might be producing like a water spout over the ocean. I have absolutely really no view of it right now. She gone. All right, well, everybody. Um, trying to figure out the next play here. That tornado warning that was up in Georgia, that storm obviously fell apart. The most interesting thing right now to me is kind of that line that I'm looking at coming in from North Florida into southern Georgia. It's kind of moving east. I don't know what that's going to do, but it's probably the most interesting thing right now. Let's see. Kind of looking at some model data and stuff like that, trying to get an idea of what's all happening. And my laptop is not happy. It's kind of like melting on me right now. All right, so here's a look just kind of at mesoanalysis. Let's kind of just talk things through here. We're sitting up here in kind of southeast Georgia. Supercell composite right now, six. Very generalized way of looking at things, just with these composites. Obviously the environment here is pretty good. Southeast Georgia, northeastern portions of Florida. If we go ahead again, composites, just like really basic. Sigtor valleys, you wouldn't expect much today. They kind of stay at one. That's about what you would expect. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. So this is when things get a little bit more interesting. So looking at here, this is um, the 0 to 3 kilometers, so that lowest portion of the atmosphere, the instability or CAPE, as well as surface vorticity, or kind of some spin in the atmosphere. And when you kind of have these two kind of overlapping, that could be, an area of interest. And you can kind of tell that, like, here in Southeast Georgia, Northeast Florida, there's kind of some overlap of the higher 0 3 Cape values. Either way, they're not very high. The Cape value is pretty good. Anytime you're over like 100 to 125, I'd consider that to be pretty favorable. The surface vort value is pretty low, but again, we're not expecting a major tornado event today. Michelle Downs, hello. Oh, he's saying hi to Bill, not to me. Never mind, I'll ignore. I'll go away. What else we got? So surface-based Cape Valleys right now, as you'd expect, we're punching up higher. One limiting factor to the tornado threat today is the fact that the low-level winds they're not southerly, they're kind of more southwesterly, and that really limits just how much spin you can get when those really low levels are not southerly here. So that's kind of one of the mitigating things that we're looking at right now. Like if I look at let's do surface pressure wind. You can kind of see that the surface winds here are kind of southwesterly, and they kind of curve a bit more southerly, like right up into the line. It's kind of like you can see the low, it's not a tight low, but the air low pressure is kind of up this way. There might be like a smaller, kind of weaker air of like low here on the southern portion. You kind of near the 1008 area. That might be enough to kind of pull these winds southerly. And there's also the inflows are pretty light. I like strong inflow, and the surface winds are they're kind of light. They're not really strong today, so that's another thing that's kind of limiting. I do want to look at two visible satellite. You can see this nice CU field that's kind of developing here across the whole Florida peninsula. I mean, that indicates there's obviously some instability that's building. It's a pretty favorable environment for at least thunderstorm activity. So that's what you like to see. I don't think I can get this to work because I'm technically using like a VPN to bond my internet service together, and College Page does not usually like it. I'm gonna try. I don't think I. Oh, it is actually kind of loading. Maybe. It's slow, but all right, we're kind of loading here. I want to look at mid-level water vapor. I want to see if this dry punch that was kind of being advertised is here. Because if there's a good dry punch, that might be enough to kind of get things going. While I take 9,000 years to load this, I'll send you back outside just with the camera. I can kind of see there's one storm over there that's kind of trying to get going too. To get to Nahunta, if I did want to keep going that way, what's the best way to do it? We can go northwest. See, I after looking through all that data, I like that southerly wind that's a bit farther north. All right. So also, again, what I mean about the lower? Seems like it's like the frame rate on that camera seems kind of low. I'm wondering if I can change that. You're about to lose microphone and camera for a second. I'll put the roof camera back on. Let me play with something real quick. Let me see if I can change this. All right, I think audio might be back, camera might be back as well. Let's see if this frame rate looks any better now that I'm changing the it still looks kind of laggy, don't it? Interesting. I don't know why the frame rate of this camera is kind of low. It seems lower than it should be. Can I lower? So I'm trying to playing with a few things here. I'm going to see if I can get this a little lower. Ah, Why does it keep doing? I don't know. Hi, Michelle. All right. All right. Let's continue. We'll be to Nahunta in like 30 minutes. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what this little line is going to do up here. We'll see what kind of action we can get into here. Again, if you're watching for the first time, appreciate you tuning in. This, if you've never really watched a live stream before of storm chasing, it's a lot of this, a lot of driving, a lot of analyzing, a lot of driving, parking, driving, analyzing. It's not nonstop action, especially when you're with an event like this where it's not the most, significant severe weather event. But feel free to follow along. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, X, whatever it's called, over on YouTube as well. Subscribe. Give the video a like if you're into that sort of thing. Or don't. Again, I don't care. You do whatever you want to do. But I do appreciate it if you do want to do that. Gonna look kind of interesting. It's up by Waycross, Georgia, to my northwest. We're headed to Nahunta right now. We'll see what this line wants to do. It's really embedded in rain. So yeah, I don't know. We'll give it a shot. It could be kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know, visually if there's going to even be anything. First, well, Michelle, thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to subscribe for more content. We do have some fun stuff coming up. We do have the total solar eclipse coming up April 8th. The plan is to do a live stream for that and all of that over in probably Texas, I think is my current plan. I'll be doing some storm chasing around then as well. And also, we will be doing my annual Chasecation coming up in early May. So that'll be basically live streaming every day for at least a week towards the beginning of May when the action begins. So really looking forward to that. Uh, as much as I truly love the chasing train that is what you're looking at right now, boy, do I miss the plains. Even the Midwest. I mean, it came originally from Iowa, and goodness gracious, that's some great chase terrain. The road network's great. The cell phone service is great. Take me back. But we've been pretty successful here in Florida already. Really, my first real chase stream here was Adalia. We didn't really get into the craziness because it was my first hurricane. I didn't want to get to like landfall, but that was a fun stream. And then a little over a month ago, we had tornadoes. I think it was February 4th. We had several tornadoes live on the stream. So we're off to a pretty good start here in the southeast as we pass the beautiful terrain. See, if something was coming like straight from the west from here, great view. We'll just park on this bridge. There's nowhere to park on the bridge, but we'll give it a shot anyway. I think something is just eating my resources on this computer, and I don't know what it is because it's really sluggish. And OBS is using a ton of my RAM. And radar scope is kind of using a lot too. That's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll close radar scope on the laptop, see if that improves things at all. We're also live on, I think anyway. Maybe not actually. I thought we were live on live storm chasing. That doesn't seem to be working. Interesting. I tested it and everything was working fine. Okay, well, best laid plans, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why my stream isn't working. Interesting. Well, that'll be another problem for another day. So we're just popping in again. The game plan here is we're heading up to right now. I have Nahunta plotted into my GPS. We're gonna head up that way. There's kind of a storm. Looks pretty decent heading up that way, and then we'll likely just kind of jump southeast with time. Very interesting cell is also by Jacksonville right now, just south of Jacksonville. So that's interesting. DM baby girl, hello Nick from Cedar Rapids, my old home. Miss all of you guys so much in Iowa. So we're definitely going to try and keep our road options open here. Things might get kind of sketch with this line coming in. We're coming in from the Hunto. We're going to come in straight from the east. And so we're going to have a straight shot back, or coming from the east, so we'll have a straight shot back east if we need to get the heck out of Dodge. Otherwise, we can also leapfrog. One big thing of fourth but chasing is making sure that you have all of your escape routes in mind, just visualized. Looks like they just extended the severe thunderstorm warning to my southwest, kind of approaching this direction. About a mile, we'll be making a left. Okay, make a left here. Oh yeah, this is uh this is the chasing country I love. Let's go. Oh, my feed's now in live stream trending. All right, so we fixed that. Thank goodness. Appreciate you. Clever coverage of the derecho. Lived by Null Ridge Park. Listen to the news station when it happened. I will take a tournament warning over derecho anytime. Yeah, the interesting thing about the 2020 derecho is the fact that there were actually um, tornadoes by the airport on the south side, and I always they're rated EF, I think EF0 or EFU. I forget exactly what they were, but I kind of joke that the winds in the tornadoes were probably weaker than the derecho itself. Hey, interesting little couplet there over Waycross. So we're watching it closely. We're getting closer to it. We're gonna start getting into some light rain, which is exciting. Yeah, this little area of interest is like heavily circulated by rain. So, and again, what you're looking at right now is a camera that we're using for the stream. We do have a nearly 360-degree view. It's actually like 300 and like 40 or something like that. We have a stop point that's right at the very back, which I think is fine. You can still see again pretty far off that way, and I have presets for different directions and all that. So we're utilizing it really for the first time in a chasing situation today. A lot of work, a little bit of engineering and coding went into making this work. So I'm very excited to show it to you guys. Good thing I have a two camera, the DSLR feed. It's obviously a much higher resolution, but like it's really laggy today, and I'm not really sure why. I need to kind of figure out exactly what's happening with that camera there. Yeah, I actually posted a video on my YouTube channel here talking about my kind of expectations for the tornado season. I did an outline of this area looks more at risk, but I kind of did talk a little bit more about areas I'm most interested in part due to the various factors at play. I use several analogs, and I think yeah, the Midwest looks kind of interesting, kind of that Iowa, Minnesota area looks kind of interesting in my opinion. Also, the far high plains, western Kansas, eastern Colorado, Nebraska, western Nebraska, that area kind of looks pretty interesting this spring, based on some of the research I kind of put together. We'll see. I think it could be more active. We are actually already seeing that transition to La Nina. If you look at the sea surface temperatures there over in the Pacific, the anomalies, we're already starting to kind of see some changes happening there. Going to be an interesting hurricane season, I think. I think if you live in coastal areas, I think the takeaway is that every hurricane outlook that you're going to see is probably going to show. The feed may kind of go in and out at times. Keep in mind we're doing the best that we can. We are using SpaceX Starlink internet as well as Verizon. We're dual bonding them to try and get a more consistent service. Cell phone service, obviously, at this point gets kind of sketchy. Starlink service kind of begins to suffer too when you have all these trees right over the road. So it kind of goes back and forth a little bit. But hopefully we can kind of use the two of them to kind of get a consistent stream. Ooh, that was CG. Little lightning strike. Starting to get into some action here, I think. Very interested in the cell to my southwest as well. I think I actually might call it an audible. And once I get to Nahunta, I might try and dive south. I gotta make sure I don't get cut off though. Kind of a rough area for roads. Um, it's not the best for trying to keep a track of a storm. Yeah, I think if I get to Nahunta, we kind of take a look at this storm that's kind of approaching from the west. But I think I might then jump south to that new storm that's developing. It's kind of a tricky situation here. It's 1 o'clock, but man, it feels kind of darker than I would have expected. Even with like thunderstorms and all that, it's pretty dark for this. About 3 miles, we'll make our turn towards Nahunta. 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 I don't know what I would say. If I've been saying Nahunta, it's Nahunta. CJ Hurst, welcome to the stream. Still trying to troubleshoot my dash mounted DSLR being as sluggish as it is frame rate wise. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I think the RAM usage on my OBS is very high. So we're going to have to use the dome camera for now. And this is like the in active rain is when it kind of struggles a little bit more, just because the raindrops and the lens and all that. I don't have like a wiper for a dome, so Rainux is going to do as good as it can do, but it can only do so much. About a mile, we'll be at US 82. We'll be heading west. Very interested in this storm approaching like Folkestone. Right, US 82. Ugh, man, those aren't just rumble strips. That's like a it's almost like a very baby speed bump. You like actually got ooh, wow, ooh, weird. Is this a 2 lane? What is this highway? All right, I've got a 4 lane highway here. Okay. TGFA. It's issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for our cell. We're gonna start kind of planning on having to drop south to Folkestone. Our route south will be US 301. That's how we'll go from the northern storm to the southern storm. Yeah, Nahunta, this looks interesting. I don't know. I do like that leading charge though on that southwestern cell of me. I'll be approaching like Folkestone. I kind of like the way that is trending. There's a lot of lightning with it too. Pretty good lightning jump. We'll be in Nahunta in about 6 miles. Get interesting here. See what happens. A little fire here, a little burn. 5 miles, we'll be in position near Nahunta. Now we just smell that smoke from whatever was burning back there. Hope you're all having a great afternoon, friends, or morning, or night, wherever it is you're watching from. Happy Saturday or weekend. No tornado at the moment. Aki. We got no tornado at the moment. We are in a severe thunderstorm warning. We are in a severe thunderstorm warning right now. Core of the storm is coming basically right here. If I can get a decent view west, I might just drop maybe a little south of town, see if we can get a decent view west. Watching this coming into town here. Big CG. Well, this is coming basically right at me here. I'm in Nahunta right now, the center of town. Trying to see if there's any good view. We're gonna get just south of town here. We'll see maybe what we can pull off here. Boy, oh boy, that velocity got a lot more interesting, didn't she? Well, well, well. Action will be just off the road here, over there. Um, okay, let's see, let's see. Stand by. We're gonna try and figure out the best course of action, because boy, this is that got very interesting, didn't it? Hey Jay, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the kind words. I don't think I want to go here. We're gonna cut that a little too close on these trees. The velocity couplet continues to look very interesting here. Just west, southwest of Nahunta. If only I could, actually see anything that's going on. Yeah, this is bad. I think, hey AJ, appreciate the super chat. I can actually see super chats. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate it, man, so much. Let's see what we can get you here, because boy, things are trending very interesting on this cell. I'm still kind of battling terrain. I think I have a spot where I can at least view decently well to the north. Area of interest is going to be just back this way. We're about to turn right and then right again. We'll have a good view back north. AJ, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Cool camera. I'm uploading a video about it tomorrow, and this is a dirt road. Oh my goodness. Um, how long am I on this road? What a nightmare. Oh my gosh. Okay. How bad can this possibly get? There's some heavy rain coming though. Gosh, I hate this. Okay. It's already not great. Okay. Um, this is not the kind of road I want to be on when there's like a developing circulation. So we're gonna go back to that highway, and we are just gonna creep up north to it. Oh my gosh, what a disaster. All right, let's uh let's creep north. I don't want to get too far north, but pull over right here. What a disaster. Okay, roof. Somewhere over there. Pretty spooky. It's very calm. Like it's so calm. AJ, welcome back. Real quick, showing the velocity view. You can still see there's a very interesting feature about to pass the highway, pretty much right in front of me. If you see some rising motion over here to the left, we are pretty much on the severe thunderstorm warning boundary. There's a lot of motion out this way. How about a little bit anyway? This is some rapid motion here. It's kicking out this way, which means any circulation would be to the up in front of the road. You can actually kind of see up here. You kind of got some spin going on. All right, I got winds to my back left, which means any circulation would be crossing the road right here. You got some rotating. Oh boy. We are getting southwesterlies, so any circulation would be just to my north right now. It would be basically moving into Nahunta. Really tight circulation. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something on the ground with this right now. Tornado warning. We have a new tornado warning just issued. There's a big dark mass in there, guys. I mean, you can almost kind of see like a right and left edge. We have a tornado warning in effect. Again, we got westerly, southwesterly, so we're in a safe spot. It passed, if there's something on the ground, it passed directly to the north of me here. I think there is a decent possibility there's a tornado on the ground with that. That was a very dark mass. There was a lot of rotating rain bands in there. I can't say for certain, but that was very, very suspicious there for a while. We got clearing happening now, so the area of interest is passed. All right, we are going to head back north. We're going to investigate what the heck is going on here. Something I'm pretty sure crossed the highway right in front of me. We're clearing up, so this is RFD. We're on the back side of this thing here now. We got some sticks down here, a lot of sticks in the road. There's a lot of sticks in the road here. A lot of this could have been RFD. Yeah, we have a tornado warning in effect here. The tornado is now just to my east. It would have crossed basically here. Wow. Okay. I, there's definitely a lot of sticks and stuff on the ground. I didn't really see anything that seemed like a real definitive tornado path, though. I mean, well, let me rephrase. Holy cow! That thing wrapped up right on top, like just on top of me. All right, I'm gonna go back east on this US 82. Um, woo! All right, get the blood going. I'm pretty sure there was a tornado on the ground, right in front of us. That was a very dark rotating mass in there. I feel pretty confident we had a tornado cross the road there. Shoot. Let me get the roof camera back in the right spot. We're gonna take US 82. We're gonna get back east. Wow. Yeah, that's that most recent radar scan is wild out of Jacksonville. We're gonna go back east. I cannot confirm a tornado, but there was a big dark mass, and there was um, a lot of tree limbs and twigs down, and indications of pretty strong winds. Could have been RFD. I wouldn't be surprised though if it was something more than RFD. Again, just impossible to know. We gotta make sure we're not being too stupid here. Oh my God. Yeah, this is some chaos here, guys. I'm gonna give it some distance here just in case we have any deviant northward movement. We still have northwesterlies here, so any circulation is south of me. I don't want to get too close to the outer circulation of this thing. Ah, man. I definitely don't want to try and cut it off. Well, definite tornado. I mean, that's a confirmed tornado now on radar. A big debris ball. Um, all right, we're gonna continue back east. Looks like the couplet's kind of winding down a bit. The most recent scan kind of weakened it a lot. Oh, it's a party in chat now. Hi, everyone. I'm gonna try and get down to this tornado path to see if anybody needs help because it's yikes. Looks like I'm gonna try and get down there here. I think it's looking at satellite. It looks like there's some like mobile homes and houses down there. Yeah, if you guys can help me get down to the trailer park, I will check it out and see if everyone's okay. I'm on US 82. I'm about to turn south on Knox Road. I believe that's the area I should head to, right? South on Knox. If you guys want to help me out, turn on. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, that looks like that CC drop went right through that area of mobile homes. Ugh. All right. All right, we're gonna turn right here into Knox. How's the audio, guys? See audio's cutting out. Long Lake Road is when you be looking for. All right, copy that. Thank you, guys. Can you guys give me a how far south of 80 minutes? I see cars coming north. That tends to be a good sign. Oh gosh, it's gross. I do have the audio set up so that it kind of tunes out some of the background noise. Approximately 1.9 miles. All right, copy that. Thank you, Jake. Wow. All right. Thank you, guys. I mean, here it should be. Oh, it should be pretty obvious. A lot of ponding on the road. Oh, everything is looking okay here. It should be getting pretty close. All these mobile homes look fine here. All right, it should be about here. This is a CC drop was right here, crossing the path right now. A lot of twigs. Yeah, I can see a lot of debris here on the ground, some trees, some twigs and stuff. So I would venture a guess the tornado definitely went through here. This is Long Lake Road. I see some snap trees here. I got a guy walking. You doing okay? Yeah, I know it crossed right here. You guys do okay though? That's good. Any damage to house or anything, or is it just I see some tree damage? Yeah. Oh gosh. Uh, all right, let me go check down there. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, so we definitely have some damage in the area here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my camera set up here. Sorry. These houses are looking okay here. It looks they got a lot of tree damage down here. Um, okay, a lot more tree damage here. Let me get deeper here to take a look. Everybody okay? You guys good? Okay. Everyone's good here. There's some minor house damage here, but everyone seems to be okay here. Trying to get deeper here to check to make sure all these people are okay. This might be a roof in the road down here. Everybody good? You guys doing okay? You guys are good? Okay. That way. I got you. Yeah, I saw those. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do much further here. Oh, that house is. Oh my God. All right. Do we want to? We have a house that's completely flat in here. Give me a second, guys. There's a house up here we're gonna search. We don't know if the lady that lives here got out. Stand by, guys. Okay, we don't know if anybody's here. We know it's an elderly woman. We're trying to check if by some miracle somebody knows this area. If you could give me some information who this might be. We know they're related to another family member behind this. They are not home. We're hoping they're all together. We don't know that for sure. Yeah. Okay, we're back. Yeah, were you able to check over there at all, or a car literally just drove through it like 5 minutes ago? A car literally just drove through it like 5 minutes ago. I wouldn't say do it, but all right. Okay. Um, so anyone just popping in, to reiterate the situation, we checked with everybody. Everybody seems to be okay. One mobile home here is completely wrapped around these trees up here. That's what you're looking at. The consensus is that she was not here at the time, hasn't lived here for a little bit. Several other mobile homes do have damage here, but thankfully, as far as we can tell, all of the occupied ones, nobody was injured, which is terrific news. Talk about luck. I mean, the one mobile home that's hit here that's completely flattened is one where nobody's in it. My goodness. Um, Yikes. That was worrying there for a while. When we saw that mobile home, I didn't even recognize it as a mobile home at first. Is one of the locals here mentioned that, oh, that mobile home is gone. I didn't even know there was supposed to be a house there. It's completely wrapped around the tree. So I'm going to try and get off of this road and get out of here. Um, I'm going to do my best anyway. This guy go. I'm going to try and get out of here. A lot of people are starting to come home, probably being alerted of what happened. So I'm going to just try and get out of their way. Again, there's some minor damage to some mobile homes and stuff here. The one that's completely flattened, though, thankfully nobody was living there at the time the tornado hit. So very good news there. This road is turning into an absolute mud pit, so I'm trying to get out of here and onto pavement. Oh, few minor damage, but everyone seems okay. They're all walking around. This area wasn't hit as bad. Okay, so I think we're good here, guys. That could have been a whole lot worse. Oh, man. I'm actually gonna check this way. Just got some trees down over here. Just want to make sure we're all chilling over here. I've still got some trees down over here. I got you. Yeah, Nick. All right. Yeah, have a go, man. All right, we helped get some trees out of the road there. Let me get out of the road here. Try and do a little U-ey here. Right side of the tree, we successfully get out of the road. I'm gonna get to the main highway intersection here, and then I'm gonna work on something here for a little bit. But yeah, definitely tornado passed right through here. Chat, I'm not gonna die from another storm, right? I haven't like looked at radar in a minute. I know there was that stuff southwest. Still tornado warned, huh? Still tornado warned out there. Okay. Well, that was I think my first Dixie Alley. I don't know if I'd even call this Dixie Alley. Southeast U.S. wedge. It was a fat boy. If you're on the YouTube, I believe you can back up the stream when it crossed the highway. We were probably what 4 or 5 miles maybe to the west of here. We had what appeared to be a tornado in my point of view across the highway. I tried to get the reports out, but I mean I didn't really have much to go on other than it was a big dark mass and there's some rotating rain bands in there. But I mean there's no way to really know whether or not that's a tornado or not. You don't want a false alarm either. So I sent off a report to the Jacksonville office just with everything I could say, which was just dark mass crossing highway, and then I reported the damage path that I crossed way back west, which was twigs and trees and stuff. Basically, that's how you got to report when you don't see the tornado. You report what you can, and to try and help out the weather service as best as you can. And I don't know if my information was out in time for this area to actually really get warning. I know they got warning. The warning was issued pretty much right as it was about to cross the highway. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, let me I need to stop somewhere and make sure I didn't lose my SD card. But there's not a lot of good stopping spots here. This looks okay to stop, I think, right? All right, I need to find this SD card. I think it fell in my seat. Shoot. There it is. I found it. I get it. It's there somewhere. OBS, what are you doing? No, I don't want to shut down. What are you doing? Get out of here. All right, I gotta move some files from SD cards real quick. Give me a second, guys. Hmm. You lost view. I forgot. While I'm doing this, stand by. I'm gonna give you the roof camera again. My bad. My bad. My apologies, guys. Whew. All right. Coming down from that one. Cut myself on some of that mobile home debris while we were checking out to make sure nobody was in there. Didn't bleed, but it's a really annoying scratch. Thankfully, I'm up to my tetanus. I'm sorry, I did it again. All right, should be good now. Well, that was an interesting experience. I don't know if how long I gotta catch up on chat. I'm sorry guys. I'm let me catch up on what's going on here. I've been just running around all over the place. Again, also huge shout out to everyone helping me find that area and to make sure everyone was okay, guiding me there. Was it Billy, AJ, Jake? There might have been a few others. I really appreciate y'all for helping navigate me through that and getting there to help people. Thankfully, everyone was good. No injuries. But yeah, if you are on YouTube, you can rewind if you want. You can go back to the action when the tornado crossed the road in front of me, which at the time we didn't know for sure, but it seemed pretty obvious. I can give you a timestamp for that. So basically, my live streams, there's the clock in the top right corner. If you look at about, look for 13, yeah, look for 13:39. That's about when things kind of went downhill. And you can see that big, dark, rotating mass past the highway and right in front of us. And then we come up the immediate aftermath. There's all the twigs and sticks down. Thankfully, there was no structures in that area that were impacted. I think that's really when it dropped and intensified as it went farther east. That's also storm chasing, 101 too. Make sure you know what you're looking at too. And we were able to get pretty close to that couplers across the highway because we had west and southwesterlies. So I knew that we were in a good spot. I knew whatever was happening was passing just off to my north. So that's where, knowing it's dangerous to just go out and chase, especially in an area. You can't see what's coming. And I'm working on something here in the background. I'm trying to get some video up. I might have to end this stream a little bit so I can pull this off. I'll wait until at least I edit everything, and then I might have to end it. I'm gonna look around on radar to make sure there's nothing else coming or worthwhile, but I do got to make sure I get this stuff off.